What's up everybody? Blender 2.92 is in beta right now, meaning that all of the new features have been added and it's getting polished for a full release as the next version of Blender. So, with that being said, in this video we will be looking at all of the new features related to physics in this new Blender update. Let's get started. The first cool feature is the new APIC fluid simulation method. I did make a video on this a while back, so I'd recommend checking that out. For a quick recap, APIC looks visually different than Flip, acting more soft. Flip is better for larger scale simulations, and APIC definitely looks better in smaller scale simulations. In some cases, APIC can bake significantly faster than Flip, but it is slower in other situations. It's on a case-by-case basis. Simulations created with APIC do seem to be more stable than Flip simulations. Viscosity is essentially the thickness of a fluid, and while we could get some viscous action with the diffusion settings before this new Blender version, this update in 2.92 just makes it way better. Instead of using things like guesswork and math, we can just slide this value. The even better part is that this strength value can be animated with keyframes, so you can make your fluid viscosity change throughout your animation. I also tested this viscosity setting with both of the fluid simulation methods, Flip and APIC, at a few different viscosity strengths. Here's a quick comparison. The next improvement is particle sampling. This improvement makes fluid particle bakes a lot more consistent. If all the settings on a simulation are the same, then baked fluid particles will be the same in different bakes. So if it's baked multiple times, essentially the simulation will consistently bake the same way, which didn't happen in 2.91 and before. The next new feature is Sparse Grid Caching, an amazing update for smoke simulations. This will make baked smoke data only save attributes that are incorporated into the simulation rather than all of the possible attributes. The development page for this says that it will result in faster viewport playback and smaller file sizes for our smoke simulations, so let's give that a test real quick. I took these 3 different simulations and baked each of them in 2.91 and 2.92 respectively. Looking at the file sizes, we can see that they are definitely improved with this new sparse caching method. In this purely smoke monkey simulation, the size was almost halved in Blender 2.92. Now this tornado only baked up to frame 165 in 2.92 before it crashed. It is a beta version, so that's understandable. So I just deleted all of the frames past that in the 2.91 cache to get our representation. Comparing these two, we can see a massive difference in size, going from almost 47 gigabytes in 2.91 to a nice and clean 8.5 gigabytes in 2.92. I turned on the dissolve option and baked out some noise for this last simulation. On the other two, I did enable adaptive domain, but I left that off for this last simulation. And of course, we can see that sparse grid caching again makes the file size far smaller. Obviously, this update isn't going to magically make your viewport playback smooth. Smoke simulations are complex and taxing to display. Still, I think the results in this department can really speak for themselves. In conclusion, this sparse grid caching business is freaking amazing, and I love you, Sebastian Barshkish, for implementing this. You are a god. Lastly, let's look at the 2 features that are not related to fluid simulation. You can now define a vertex group for your cloth objects to use as a collision group. So you can make parts of your cloth object collide with an object and then make parts of them not collide. So that's pretty awesome. And in addition to that, you can also toggle on and off collision physics for objects that are made to collide with others without removing the collision modifier. You can do that with this little toggle, and this toggle is also animatable with keyframes. And those are all of the new physics features within this 2.92 update. If it hasn't been released when you're watching this video, then you can go ahead and grab it from the daily builds page, which I will link down in the description below. Thank you to all my patrons who make this channel possible: Matt, Terry Davis, Susan Uncle, Stephen D. Swanee, Justin Oliver, Atomic Alf, Don Hopkins, and Gehrig Gosselin. You guys are awesome. Thank you all for watching this video, and have a great day.